Folks, we're back on the All New Sports Show with this week's Coach's Corner interview. Joining us, a guy you probably haven't seen on here too many times before. That's Tarboro Viking head coach Jeff Craddock. Just kidding, folks. We've named the segment after him. Coach Craddock, this is the third year that Southern Nash has been back on your schedule. They got you the first 2 years. You come in tonight, you guys face all kinds of adversity. Guys are dropping left and right. You lose some big-time players with some injuries. You'd already lost some big-time players with some injuries in the past few weeks. The officials made a couple of questionable blocking calls that brought a couple of touchdowns back for you.
Right.
You lose a kid about midway through the third quarter. You lose a young man here in the ballgame. And through all that, you're able to rally these guys to come from behind to get a win over a 3A power. Eastern 3A power, Southern Nash, they are that. Just give us your synopsis of the ballgame tonight.
Well, first of all, I give God all the glory. I really do. I thought we played hard. We faced a lot of adversity, but this is a resilient football team. I mean, we've been through a lot off season, been through some things, and it's been frustrating to coach this team at times, but it's been enjoyable, to see them. They said going into the fourth quarter, like, Coach, we're going to find a way to win. We're not going to lose this game. And I said, guys, that's fantastic, but we got to make some plays. Anybody can sit over here. And they said, Coach, we're winning this game. So we never wilted under the pressure. And I thought we just needed to make a play. And Shamar, hit that big run. And then we got the 2. And then we had new life. I think really they dominated the third quarter pretty much for maybe the last 7. Well, they pretty much dominated the third quarter. And we looked rather lifeless, and I was kind of irritated about that. I'm like, guys, you're down 8 points. You're down 1 score going to the fourth quarter. I mean, what'd you expect? It's going to be tough. And finally, man up. I was just thinking 2 years ago when they were here, we had the lead late in the game. They were driving down the opposite field. They ended up scoring and beating us by 1 with like a minute left in the game. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? It's just our turn. I mean, it's our turn, to make a play and to stop them. And defense, Coach Harding, made some good adjustments throughout the game, and they came up with a big stop, and it sure feels good. That's a really good football team. I mean, they are a very good team, and I think we can be, and I'm just very proud of our coaching staff and our players.
You mentioned resiliency. Is this something that's sort of been renewed for maybe the first time in a while, especially since you guys moved down to 1A?
I think we've been resilient at times, but the thing with this group has been with so many sophomores pulled up, and it seems like people, have been, I don't know how good Tarboro is going to be, and we just used that to our advantage. We're like, guys, we're Tarboro. This is what we do, so it doesn't matter who's out there. It's the jersey that counts, and we kind of rally around that, and we're trying to use that as, I'm sure we're going to be picked to lose going to Southwest Edgecombe because they're a great football team. I think they got 20-some seniors. That's almost many players that I've got. It may be more by now by the time my injuries get done, but unfortunately. But it's just the fact these guys are very prideful. They don't like being counted out, and they want to show people that, we're still a pretty good football team.
Coach, you talk about Coach Harding making some adjustments. This is a Southern Nash team, and we saw the glimpses of it tonight. They can chuck the football around the field when they want, and they can also turn right around, get to that bunch formation, and power you 4 yards at a time down the field. With playmakers on the outside like number 7, Nadir Thompson, Jaquay Mitchell, and, of course, Taj Deans, young man heading to East Carolina next year. What were you telling your kids who – I'm going to venture on the limb here and say I don't think you've seen a passing attack like this yet.
No, they were very difficult to prepare for. Like I said, it's like preparing for 2 different teams in 1 week. I mean, how do you get ready for the power running game where they just put everybody in the box and come straight at you, and then they go no backs, and they got a quarterback out there who does a fantastic job of putting the ball where it needs to go most of the time. And so we had to be diversified in our attack, and so we had our kids really did a great job because a lot of the stuff that we were doing were checks they had to make on the field because we really didn't know, what sets they were coming out in. And, and I told them, I said, guys, don't get frustrated. They're going to make plays. I mean, he can chunk it. And then they got in their kids on the edge. They got better athletes on the edge than we do. They had me a nervous wreck. And our thing was, listen, guys, we got to tackle in space, and we did a decent job of it, but we didn't want to give them the big play. We thought if we could, keep them, we just chunking a little bit, we thought they would turn the ball over. That's one thing we noticed on film was that they had been putting the ball on the ground, and we thought if we could get 2 or 3 key turnovers, that would be big. So the defense thing was, listen, guys, don't give them the big play. Let's try to make them make a mistake. And like I said, The one right before the half would have been nice if we could have put that in the books, but it still was a defensive stop. Would have been nice to have the 6 to go with it, but at least it was a stop. And like I said, the guys just dug in there at the end. I mean, they just made plays and made adjustments, so they did a great job.
So many contributors to this team this year. And you guys get the biggest one of the night from Dawson Harris with the game-winning field goal. This is a kid who started last year as our quarterback, comes in this year as just your kicker and punter, and has the biggest play of the game. What does that say about him and the work he's put in?
Well, that just says he's a competitor. He's a good kid, and he works hard. And I told him last week, I said, Dawson, it's not my lack of confidence in you as a kicker. It's my lack of confidence in the people blocking for you. But tonight, we worked on it hard. I thought they did a pretty good job. And I said, you know what? I told our guys, if you will just block, Dawson will make it. I said, we just need the lead. And I felt more comfortable letting him have a shot to kick at the time, I didn't know it was game winner, but, ended up being the game-winning field goal rather than 4th and 5. That defense they got over there is quick, and they get to the ball fast, so I just felt like, you know what, let's give us an opportunity to take the lead. If we don't, we still got him pinned deep. And then another play, I noticed, I'm sure I have it in Pooch a lot because it wasn't, once again, not because he can't kick, because our coverage team's terrible. And
they've got some good returners on their side as well.
Exactly. So, but there at the end, I said, you know what? Let's try to pin them deep. And I said, Dawson, he's like, Coach, I want to kick it deep. And I said, and that was a great kick. And we ended up pinning them down around maybe the 20 or 25, which was better than the 35, which he had been. So not only did he make the big field goal, but then him placing the ball on the next kickoff pinned him deep, and that ended up being pretty big for us.
Coach, now we would not be doing our jobs as high-quality journalists.
What?
Journalists. If we didn't inform you that the last we heard, Southwest was up 42-0 at the half on Bertie. So let's just assume they held on to that when they scraped by.
Yeah.
Coach, you head to the biggest game in Edgecombe County next week, with really probably the biggest stakes we've had in a long time. You two, the game since y'all have gone to 1A, you're no longer in the conference. That game, it had always seemed to be early in the season. Yep. This year, you and Coach Cobb decided you pushed it back to the end of the non-conference season, and now you both go in 5-0. A, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get tickets at the door next week for that one. But B, huge week coming up for you guys.
Oh, yeah. My only regret is I wish it was at home. I'd like to get that big gate. But yeah, we decided to push it back just to maybe add a little bit more excitement to the game. It's tough to get to 5-0, obviously. It seems like they've had maybe a little easier road than we have to get there, but they're probably a better football team than we are right now. So, they senior heavy. I knew they were going to be good this year. I know they're the team to beat, and I understand all that, and my team understands all that. So, unfortunately, this is a great win for us, but we're not going to enjoy it long. It'll be 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll be watching film on Southwest and getting ready. It's going to be tough. They're going to be better than Southern Nash, and we got to go to their place, and they're always tough at home. And it's everything. This is what you do it for, though. It's going to be a packed house and your rival, and it's a friendly rivalry. Me and Coach Cobb are good friends, and I always wish him well, and that's the way I like it. I want us to play hard. I want them to play hard, and last year at our place was a great game to the wire. We ended up getting the score late in the game to come from behind. It's just a great rivalry, so I'm blessed to be a part of it, and we're going to have to play our best game. There's no question, and hopefully we can get healthy. But we're going to go with what we got, and we're going to play hard, and we'll see how it goes.
Folks, that's going to do it for this week's all-new sports show, Coach's Corner. This is, of course, an internet exclusive. Head coach Jeff Craddock, he likes talking to us, folks.
That means he wins.
Right. We've said it before, and as he gave me the 2 arms up sign across the field tonight, that was completely confirmed. Coach, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week out at the Junction.
One way or another, we'll see you.
That's going to do it for the all-new sports show, internet exclusive.